Good afternoon everyone. So, magandang umaga sa ating lahat. Nandito na naman tayo sa ating bagong pag-uusapan ngayong umagang ito. So, we are now in the third quarter of the school year 2020-2021. So, welcome again and our topic is mathematics, just the subject. And the lesson for today is about percentage, rate, and base. So, at the end of this module, you're expected to, number one, visualize percent and its relationship to fractions, ratios, and decimal numbers using models. And then number two, we have define percentage, rate, or percent and base. And number three, identify the base, percentage, and rate in the problem. Okay, so let's move on. So things to remember, class. So the ratio is a comparison between two or more quantities. It can also be expressed as a fraction. Through fractions, we can get the decimal equivalent by dividing the numerator by the denominator. The decimal form can be expressed as percent by moving the decimal point two places to the right and affix the percent sign. And at the same time, and also, the rate is the number written with the word percent. It is expressed in percent form. The base is the total or whole, and it is the number that usually follows the phrase percent of. The percentage is the part of the whole. And the Tetchen's triangle can be used to identify the percentage, base, and the rate. Yun. So yan yung tsura niya. Triangle siya. Sa taas is percentage, sa baba is rate, and then base. Okay? So let's have an example. So activity one. Okay, here's the problem. Jane earned 100 pesos for selling mangoes. She gave her mother 60 pesos and saved the rest. So using models, what percentage of her earnings did she give her mother and what percent did she save? So ang given numbers natin dyan, we have 100 pesos. Yan yung pinagbentahan niya ng mga mangoes. And then binigay niya yung 60 pesos at 60 pesos sa tinira niya yung binigyan niya yung 60 pesos sa kanyang nanay and then the rest is kanyang tinabi or kanyang sinave. So let's have the solution here. Okay. So here's the solution. So magdodraw muna tayo ng 100 boxes. So ito yung 100 boxes natin. Yan. Ito yung ating 100 boxes. This one. So 100 siya. So kinulayan natin yung 60% niya. So, meaning 60 na boxes. Ayan. And then, after that, yung natira, that's the 40 boxes. So, a grid with 100 squares is usually useful way of visualizing percent. So, in the grid 60, out of 100 squares are colored blue. So, yun color blue. Write 60%. So, yung 60%. Yan yung kanyang pinagbentahan ng mango. No. Ito yung kanyang ibinigay sa kanyang nanay. Kasi 100 yung kanyang napagbentahan. And then, ang tawag dyan is 60%. Binabasa na siya as 60%. And then the symbol percentage, ayan, or the percent sign, ayan. So the answer is, she gave 60% of her earnings to her mother. Ito yung kanyang binigay sa kanyang nanay. And then, ang nasave naman niya is 40% of total na napagbentahan niya. So, kung kukunin natin, 100 pesos yung kanyang pinagbentahan. So, 60% of that is 60 pesos. And then yung na-save niya is 40%, which is 40 pesos naman. Okay? So, let's have more example of this. Okay. So, there are other ways, class, on how to write a percent. So, for example, meron tayong fraction natin is 60 over 100. That's the fraction. Ang ratio natin, 60 is to 100. Decimal natin, 0.60. And then nating percent is 60%. So always remember that the ratio is a comparison between two or more quantities, which can also be expressed as a fraction. A percent is a ratio that compares a number to 100, and it means hundredths. So it can be written as decimals. And then fractions can be expressed as decimal in percent when their denominator is changed to 100. So pwede natin siyang gawing fraction, ratio, decimal, and percent sign. So let us learn how to change fraction to a ratio, how to change decimal to fraction, and vice versa itself. So, simulan muna natin sa, ayan. So, let's start with first with convert decimal to percent. So, ang given nating number is decimal point, which is 0.6. So, ang gagawin natin siyang percent, i-move lang natin yung decimal point niya, ayan, two places to the right. So, kagaya ng example natin, 1, 2, ayan. So, magiging na siyang 60. And then, add the percent sign. So, magiging na siyang 60%. That is from decimal to percent sign. Di ba, madali lang siya. We will just move two places to the right. And then, convert percent to decimal, remove the percent sign, then move the decimal point two places to the left. So kapag vice versa naman siya, from percentage naman siya nagsimula from percent, gagawin naman natin siyang decimal. So from that number, we will move the decimal point dahil itong decimal point is lagi nasa unahan, to the left naman siya. Two places to the left. Ayan. Nakita mo yung diagram na yan. Ayan. 1, 2. And then, ano yung decimal niya? Maganda siyang 0.60%. And then, mawawala lang yung decimal point. Then, 7.5. Maging naman siyang go place to the left. 1, 2. Ayan. Maging siyang 0.075. That's the decimal point. So, i-move lang natin. Kapag decimal to percent, move two places to the right. And then kapag percent to decimal is two places going to the left. Next one, we have convert a fraction to a decimal. So, ang given numbers naman natin is fraction. We will just convert to decimal, so we will just divide it. So, 1 divided by numerator divided by the denominator. Ayan siya. So, 1 divide 5 cannot be, so we will add 0. So, 10 divide 5 becomes 2. Then decimal point, dun lang siya. 5 divided 2 is 10. Ayan. 10 minus 10 is 0. So the answer is 0.2. So 1 over 5 is also equivalent to 0.2. So i-divide lang natin siya. Kapag cannot be divided, so we will just add 0. But the decimal will still remain the same. Okay? Kung saan lang siya, dun lang siya. And then next, convert a decimal to a fraction. So convert a decimal to a fraction using tenths, hundreds, thousands, etc. depending on the number of decimal places. Then simplify the fraction part. So dito naman, 7.25. So gagawin naman natin siyang fraction. So bibilangin natin yung place ng decimal point niya. So we will start here. So ano ba yung place ng kanyang decimal point? Siyempre, we have tenths, we have hundreds. So 100 siya. So magiging siyang 7 and 25 hundredths. Kung sakaling maging tatlo yan, halimbawa maging siyang 7.025, so magiging ano siya, 7 and 25, hindi siya 100 kasi 10, 100,000, magiging siyang 7 or 25,000. Yan. And then, simplify it like this one. 25 divide 100, so it's divisible by 25. 25 divided 25 is 1, and 100 divided 25 is 4. So the answer is 7 over 1/4. So ibig sabihin, we will simplify the given fraction kagaya ng mga lessons natin before. So napakasimple lang naman siya. So we will just count place the place value, and then that's gonna be the denominator. Kung 100 siya, thousands, and etc. or 10,000s. And then you will just simplify the numerator and the denominator based kung ano ba yung, kung paano mo siya i-simplify. So you will just find numbers that these two numbers are divisible. Okay? Let's have convert percent to fraction. So yun nga yung sinabi ko, di ba? Remove the decimal sign, then write the number as fraction with 100 as a denominator. Kapag 25%, so laging yan, pag percent sign na yan, lagi natin gagawing 100 yung nasa denominator niya. And then, simplest form niya, 1/4. Yan lang. Because this number are both divisible by 25. So 25 divided 25 is 1. And 100 divided 25 is 4. So the answer is 1 over 4. And then, the last one, convert fraction to percent. So divide the top of the fraction by the bottom, multiply by 100, and add side the percent sign. So yun lang din siya. We will just divide 1 divide 4 is gonna be 0.25. And then, dahil decimal point na siya, we will just make it to a percent. We will just multiply it by 100, or we will just move the decimal point 2 places to the right. Diba? Decimal point 2%. So from this decimal point, mag-move tayo dyan 1, 2 hanggang maging siyang 25, and then add the percent sign. So 25%. Always remember, decimal to percent, move places the decimal to the right, and then kapag percent to decimal naman siya, going to the left naman tayo. Okay? Basta kapag may percent sign, change natin siya sa decimal, so madali lang siya. Moving place to the left lang naman. Okay? Kapag gagawin fraction, so gagawin natin siyang over 100. So we will have another example later part of this video. So let's answer activity 2 in the module sheet. So activity 2, 4% of 50 pesos is 2 pesos. What are the elements used in solving percentage? Problem like this. Define each. Ayan. So dito, hahanapin natin yung ating rate. The elements used in solving percentage problems are the following. Okay? So we have the first term, we have the rate. So or R, it is the number with the word percent or percent symbol. So kapag may percent, yan na yung ating rate. Kagaya sa example na to, of course, 4%, ayan na siya. And then percentage is a part of the whole. So ibig sabihin, 4%, yan naman yung percentage, yan naman yung part ng whole. Ibig sabihin, 4% of 50 pesos is 2 pesos. So ibig sabihin, 2 pesos yung ating percentage niya. Kasi part siya ng whole eh. And then, base naman is the total or the whole. It is usually the number after the praise percent. Percent of or percent of. Okay? So ibig sabihin, after daw ng percent of, yan yung ating base. Yung tandaan natin, the word percent of or percent of. Yun yung ating base. So let's have an example. Ayan, yan yung problem natin. So meaning to say that 4 is the rate, and then 50 is the base, and then 2 is the percentage. Kasi nga, di ba, pag yung base, kasunod siya ng percent of. Ayan. From the given problem, the percentage or the P is the 2 pesos. The rate is the 4% kasi meron siyang percent sign. And then the base is the 50 pesos, which is after the percentage of. Tandaan natin yon. Ayan. So another example, 150% of 200 is 300. So of course, yung rate natin, yan yung 150%. Kasi may percent sign siya. And then the percentage is part of the whole. Ayan siya, 300. Usually, ang gagawin natin dyan, hinuhuli natin yung percentage kasi yung base form, yan yung laging kasunod ng percentage of. So, ayan siya. 200. Percentage of 200. Ayan, 200. And then yung matitirang number, that's the percentage. Let's have a number 3. So among the 120 children who attended the party, 45% are boys. There were 54 boys who were at the party. Identify the percentage, the base, and the rate. Okay, so here's the explanation. So to identify the percentage, base, and rate in the given percentage problem, transform the problem into this form. Rate of base is equal to the percentage. Okay? So yung rate natin, we have the percent sign. Ayan. 45%. And then, yung ating base, yan yung total number ng mga children, 120. So, 45% of 120, that's gonna be, the answer is 54. So, that's gonna be the 54. That's the percentage. Okay? So, we can able to use the Tetchen's triangle to identify the percentage, base, and the rate. So, ito lang siya. So, P over R and B. So, halimbawa, nawawala natin yung base. So, we will just divide the percentage divided by the rate. Kapag nawawala naman yung rate, so we will just divide percentage divided by the base. Kapag nawawala naman yung percentage, we will just multiply rate to base. That's the percentage. So ito ay parang division sign tong nasa gitna na to. Ayan. So kapag tandaan nyo lang yung P over R and B, yan lang yun. Kapag nawawala yung base, so P divide R lang tayo. Percentage divide rate lang. Kapag nawawala naman yung R, so percentage divide base is equal to rate. Kapag nawawala naman yung percentage, so you will just multiply rate to base, yun na yung makukuha na. So, kagaya nito, 54 divide 45% is 120. 45% times 120 is 54. So, kahit paikot-ikutin mo yan, yun pa rin lalabas na sagot. Kasi yan nga yung pinaka formula niya or pinaka um, formula niya. Para at least mas maayos at mas maintindihan nyo kung paano nga ba, ala, nawawala yung percentage natin. So, tanda lang natin itong triangle na to identify paano makukuha yun. Okay? So, let's have an example here. Ayan. So, complete the table below. Ayan. So, meron tayong example. Fraction is 1/2. The decimal point is 0.5, then the percentage is 50%. So if our number one, the given number only is 2%. So how are you going to change 2% to decimal? So we will just move 2 decimal places going to the left. So write natin yung 2, ayan, and we will just move 2 numbers from here, 1 and then 2 decimal point. So the answer is 0.02. And then going to the fraction, always remember that a decimal point, a percent sign, lagi siyang denominator niya is 100. So copy the whole number over 100. Ayan, di ba? Yan ang sagot na. And then, let's try this one, 3/4. So how to change it to decimal? So we will divide 3 divided by 4. So it's going to be 3 divide 4. Ayan. 3 divide 40 cannot be. So we will add decimal point is 0. Ayan. 30 divide 4 is equals to how many? Is equal to 6. Is equals to 7. So 7 divide 4 is 7 times 4 equals 28. Ayan. So minus becomes 2. And then 2 divide 4 cannot be, so we will add 0 again. Ayan. Decimal point sa taas na yan. And then 0. Ayan. 20 divide 4 is gonna be 5. Then 5 times 4 equals 20. So 20 minus 20 is equals to 0. Hanggang maging 0 siya. So the answer is 0.75. Ayan. 0.75. Yan ang kanyang decimal point. And how to change decimal point to percent, we will just move to 2 places the decimal point going to the right. So 1, 2, so magi siyang 75. And then we will add the percent sign. So 75%. Okay, another one. So 0.80, 0.8. So to percent, we will just move to decimal point to the right. 1 and 2. So magi siyang 80%. So pag nakuha na natin yung percent, madali na siyang makuha yung ating fraction. Kasi magilang siyang 80 over 100. And then, sisimplify pa natin yan. Divisible pa yan by 20. So 20 divided by 80 is equals to 4. And then 100 divided by 20 is equals to 5. So the answer is 4 over 5. Then last, 76%. So maging siyang 12.76. Kasi we will just move, di ba? 1, 2. Ayan, 0.76. And then yung ating fraction naman, so maging siyang 76 over 100. So, ipalilitin pa natin yan. 7 divisible by 2. Maging siyang 38 over 50. Pwede naman pa konti-konti lang siya. Ayan. Dahil pwede pa siyang i-divide, palitin pa natin siya by 2. So, maging siyang 38. Yan, sorry. 38 over 50. Tapos, pag pa siyang divisible by 2 na naman siya. So, we have 19 over 25. So, kung hindi na siya kayang palitin, so that's the answer. 19 over 25. Okay, so let's have another example. Identify the rate, base, and the percentage by completing the table. So rate natin is 100. Example, 12 is 150% of 8. So always remember na yung may percent sign is gonna be the percent. Yung base natin is after the percent of. And then yung percentage natin is gonna be the other number. Okay? So kaya nito, 6 is 25% of 24. So yung rate natin, that's the one with the percent sign. So it's gonna be 25%. And then yung base natin is after the percent of. Percent of. So it's gonna be the 24. And then yung matitira is gonna be the 6. That's the percentage. Another one, 20%. So yung rate natin, syempre, yun yung may decimal point, may percent sign. So 20%. And then, yung ating base, yun naman yung after percent of. So that's gonna be the 15. And the other number, the remaining number will become the percentage. This one, 125%, that's yung rate natin. Always remember the rate is the one with the percent sign. And then, times 60 is equals to 75. So wala na siyang percent off. So yung times 60, so yan yung ating tinatawag natin na base natin yan. And then yung percent niya, it's gonna be the 75. Okay? And then 0.5%, so yan naman yung ating rate pa rin. Off, dahil off na naman siya, ayan yung ating base, 2,000. Then the other number is 10. Kapag ganyan naman siya multiply, ganun pa rin siya. 12 and 1/2% times 48 is equals to 6. So 12 and 1/2, it's gonna be the percent sign, times 48. That's gonna be the base. And then ang ating percentage is 6%. Ayan. So simple lang. Always remember, the rate, basta may percentage, that's gonna be the rate. Kapag yung base natin, after the percent of, and then yung percentage naman natin is gonna be our, the remaining number will be the percentage. Or hanapin natin yung ating formula na triangle. Ayan. Triangle. Ayan. Triangle natin yan. Yung formula natin. So we have the percentage. We have the B base times the rate. Ayan. Pag nawawala yung percentage, B times R. Pag nawawala yung R, P times base. Okay? Alright. So always remember, class, things to remember that the ratio is a comparison of between two or more numbers or quantities. It can also be expressed as a fraction through fractions. We can get the decimal equivalent by dividing the numerator by the denominator. So the decimal form can be expressed as percent by moving the decimal point 2 places to the right and affix the percent sign. So the rate is the number written with the word percent. It's expressed in percent form. The base is the total over, and it's the number that usually follows the phrase percent of. The percentage is the part of the whole. Yan naman yung the rate, the base, and the percentage. And then, always remember the formula. So we have the Tietjens triangle can be used to identify the percentage, rate, and base. P is all over R times base. So ito lang tandaan natin. Pag nawawala si percentage, so rate times base. Pag nawawala si base, percentage divided rate. Pag nawawala naman si rate, so percentage divided by the base. So para makuha natin yung si rate. So paigot-igot lang siya. O, tandaan nyo lang itong formula nito, hindi na kayo malilito or mawawala. Okay, so I think that's all for today. So if you learn from this video, kindly click like, share, and subscribe, and see you on my next video. Thank you.